We've got Dareon Nash here, returning an interception for a touchdown. Samuel Akem had a touchdown as well. We'll start with Coach Hauck, though. Coach, that was a game and drink team in that first half. Your adjustments in the second half to come out and really put them away against a really solid team.
Yeah, Drake did a nice job. They're well coached. They're veteran. They're a big physical team. We were just talking about it outside. I was impressed with them. Their effort level. They came in and did some things we didn't expect, particularly on the defensive front and some coverage things. So they did a nice job. We were a little bit of a circus the first half. We didn't handle things overly well, and it was a good job by our guys hanging together when it was a tight game at halftime and coming out and making the changes and making the plays, and good by us. When it ended up 48, it was a good job the second half. Put some points on the board and shutting them down.
The pre-snap penalties, things like that, in the first half, is that just happens and then just a few of them happen, or is that a lack of focus?
I just call it being dumb. I don't know what these guys will say, but I didn't have any sense that we didn't have focus. So we got to quit doing dumb stuff, or it's going to cost us down the road, and that's just football. You can't do dumb things and shoot yourselves in the foot, or it costs you games. And we're not going to have the entire training camp to get ready for a game every week like we did last week. We have to look that sharp out the gate, and we didn't today.
They scored on that fake punt, but then you guys answer with a touchdown drive. What sort of impact do you think that touchdown drive had on helping you guys regain momentum?
Yeah, the fake punt was a good play by them. Unfortunately, we were expecting it, and we had a call on where we had one linebacker in the middle, and we had another guy was assigned to pull out and play the fake on that side, and he didn't do it. So we, there's just Exhibit A for being assignment-oriented football, and you have to do your 1/11th, and if you don't, it breaks down, and you give up plays and points. And all learning experiences for us, but we have to do things right.
What was the biggest offensive adjustment you guys made in the second half to get Jerry and Sammy and some of these other receivers as well?
Well, it's more protection stuff. They gave us a couple fronts and things that we didn't expect, and then some pressure out of those looks. So it's a combination of two things we hadn't prepared for, and I thought the front guys did some good things.
Do you attribute the first half sloppiness to not being able to have enough game film on them?
No, I attribute it to us being dumb.
Dalton was able to make a lot of plays by just extending the play.
Starting with the head coach, we got to get it right. Go ahead.
Dalton able to make a lot of plays just by extending the play. Had a lot of pressure today. What from your vantage point, just how would you assess the way he played?
Yeah, Dalton's a good player. I mean, he did a nice job improvising. He did a nice job throwing it on time. He did a good job handling some things, and there's a lot of, especially when you get into a game like that where it's you're not real sure about what you're going to get. There's a lot of checking going on. A lot of it's on his shoulders to get us in the right play, whether it's checking the run game or checking protections or making decisions on the RPO game. So there's a lot on his shoulders today.
You had several third and shorts that were stopped, but then you get the third and short that stopped, go for it on fourth down. Eastwood scores the long touchdown. Do you think that was a turning point for you guys?
It was a good play, certainly. We ran power, and he kept it up in there and was able to come out the back door. They overran it a little bit, and we had bodies on bodies, and he saw it and came out, and it was a good job finishing it. And obviously you can see there because there was nobody left once he broke the line of scrimmage. And they're playing everybody up in there. They're either going to stop you or you're going to win big, and we won big.
Coach, won the turnover battle pretty good. How big of a difference was that, especially in that second half?
Well, it's always a huge statistics I'm not overly into, as you know, Derek, but that one I am, and that one counts. And when you take it away and don't give it away, you get a chance to win for sure.
Your
The defense put Drake in a lot of third and longs. Talk about your defense as a whole.
Yeah, the defense is playing well. The best thing we're doing is tackling. We've tackled really well the first 2 weeks. I'm impressed with our effort level and our tackling. We did well in third down. I didn't get a chance to look at it yet. I don't know what it was, but it seemed like we did a pretty good job there. We let them convert the 1 3rd and long. It's similar to the 4th and long we gave up last week. We have to get some pressure on them. We have to make plays on the ball down the field. But generally speaking, I like the way the defense played, obviously.
Aside from the one big run from Missoula on 4th down, I think you ran it like 13 times in the game where you were leading a lot of the second half. Why'd you go away from that, and you think that's something that will continue?
Well, we weren't going away from it. They're RPOs, so it's based on what the defense gives us. So, I'll have to look at the call sheet, but there's a high percentage of those plays are RPOs, and if they're loading the box, it's thrown. If they're not, it's run. So they're not run or pass calls. They're both, and then it's what they give you.
Cody Meyer goes down, and then you go with Cole Sain, and it seemed like he actually did pretty darn well. What did you think of just the ability of the offensive line to adjust?
That's the way it is on game day. I mean, next man up, that's the way it has to be. We'll watch the film tomorrow. I don't know how the guards played, but that's what good teams do. I mean, there's some attrition within games and seasons, and guys got to be ready, and it appeared like he was.
Dalton's ability to keep the play going. Do you ever want him to just get out of bounds rather than take those heavy hits?
No, I want him running over those DBs, just like everybody else. Is that right, Sam? That's right. We don't run out of bounds here, except maybe the quarterback.
You talked a lot about the youth of this team. Jed Nagler, Braden Deming, Jace Lewis, Marcus Wendell, they all made sacks today. What do you think of the young guys and the plays they made defensively?
It seems like that's all we've got is young guys, but you can name it. It's going to be week to week. There'll be some young guy making a play or not, and it was good to see those guys get after it. I would anticipate their ability to continue to play faster and better as the season goes on. I think that they look faster and more explosive off the ball, more dynamic this week than last, where they were pretty bright-eyed and maybe big-eyed. So we just got to keep going. But I'm proud of our young guys. There are a lot of them out there. Cole Sain's a true freshman. He's playing high school football last year. Had to go play guard for us.
Dante also had another big day with his 16 tackles and a couple sacks.
It's his mother keeping the stats. Hell, James, no one makes 16 tackles. Go ahead, Amy, sorry.
No, that was a great reaction to that. Regardless of how many tackles he had or not, I suppose. How would you assess his play today?
Well, I'm just looking at it. Obviously, 2 sacks, 3.5 tackles for loss, cost fumble. That's a pretty big day. Might have a chance to be nominated again for the league award. So he had a good day. He's obviously off to a great start to the season, and we need him to be that guy.
Questions for Coach?
When I'm with the University News, one of the things that we've been noticing is that there's an increase in outreach to the students to get them to football games and get them involved. Why is that important to you guys as a team?
Well, I mean, these guys are students too. They're players on our team. That's their peer group, and we're their team. We want them there to enjoy it with us. It's supposed to be fun. One of the greatest things in all of the United States is college football on campus, and we have the best game day of any place. And we want our students to make sure they get there and enjoy that with us.
Questions for players?
Say what do you think sparked the offense?
Felt like we just came together, made some plays, and played how we practiced. We all just put it together and put that team away. We saw how the defense was working, and we figured we should give them some help, so we just did the job.
when Keenan goes down, do you guys have like a conversation amongst the wide receivers? Like, all right, we gotta step it up, we gotta go.
I wouldn't call it so much a conversation, but it's just like next man up. You got to step up. So I wouldn't say it's so much of a conversation as like more of it's time for somebody has to step up and take that role. Not really take the role, but just do what we've practiced all training camp.
Was there anything matchup-wise that you saw that was helping you guys get loose, specifically you and Jerry?
I mean, I wouldn't say we saw anything matchup-wise. I mean, yes, we saw matchup-wise because we watched film on them all week, but it's really just what we practice. We practice situations all week. We practice going through. We've been through all this, so it's not anything new to us when we get out on the field and we just execute what we've practiced all week.
Sammy, can you speak a little bit to Dalton's ability to extend plays? What that's like as a receiver when it might be a long play, but he still might find you somewhere to pick up a first down on his own.
Oh well, it's just like our coaches tell us. We just gotta stay. I'm trying to think of the word. You just gotta stay alive and just stay ready because he can get out of the pocket at any time. You just gotta stay ready for that so you can get open for him and it creates a big play.
Your touchdown right after Reed's pick, do you feel like that was a big momentum swing in your guys' favor?
Oh, for sure, big momentum swing.
Dareon, how would you? Just how fun was that game for you personally?
Every game's fun. I feel like here, especially the atmosphere we have.
Yes, Dareon, can you
I feel like every game is fun here, especially we treat every game the same, and I mean every time you come out with a win, it's fun.
The pick six, it seemed like you read it all the way. What'd you see?
Like Coach said, I was just doing my 111th, and I kind of faded the quarterback and jumped it and scored.
What do you think has made this defense as successful as it's been these first 2 weeks?
I feel like just training camp is how we practice. Our mental toughness, our physicality. The coaches preach it every day. We say it every day, and I don't know. We kind of practice since summer actually, and the coaches are strict on us, and everyone's in for one goal, and I feel like we practice that since summer.
Dareon, what was like just kind of the mindset at halftime? I mean, going into the locker room at halftime last week, you're up 26-0. This one, it's just 10-3 against Drake. Like, what was just kind of the attitude amongst the team?
Like Coach was saying, like they're a physical team. They just fit the part of physicality. We were all over the place in the first half, and Coach just kind of set us down and set us straight, basically. Because we were doing a lot of amateur stuff in the beginning, and he set us straight. And my middle swings all through the second half, and I feel like that helped us.
I think last week there were 4 forced fumbles that the offense recovered. Is that something you guys talked about this week?
Yeah. He didn't say too much about it, but we should never let a lineman recover the ball.
Whose phone is this? I'm reading your text. It's awesome.
Dareon, what's this transition?
Popular guy.
Going from wide receiver to corner, what's been the challenges, and do you feel as comfortable as you felt so far?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it in high school, corner and safety and stuff like that, but I feel like transition hasn't been too big for me. The coaching staff here is kind of molded me into being the corner I am, so I feel like it wasn't that big.
You and Justin have pretty much locked down the other receivers in the first couple of weeks. Does the chemistry there help, or do you feed off each other?
Oh, definitely. I know he's going to do his part. I know he's going to give his all on the other side. I know I count on him all the time. So we talk to each other all week, all game day. And yeah, I can count on him. It's been good.
Anybody else? Thanks, everyone.
Start with the opening statement.
I just want to thank the people of Montana for, it's an incredible environment. Had heard a lot about it over the years. And it's what college football is about, really. Our bus driver told us when when we'd be coming into the stadium here this morning, fans would be waving at us, and I'm like, really? How are they going to be waving at us? I'm from Chicago, and sometimes those kind of things, they wave different things at us. But it was great. It was just a great environment. And so we really enjoyed it. It made us better playing a great opponent. We got to learn and grow from this to be the kind of team that we want to be moving forward in the season. But again, just great environment, and it's a great experience for our guys, and to be able to be out here in Montana.
Coach, how much did it hurt not being able to play that first game last week?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll never know the answer. It's just speculating, really. Our guys handled it as well as I could have imagined them handling it. Would have we had some of the fewer mistakes? We started out the first series, at least offensively, not very sharp. Honestly, the first mistake on the first down wasn't because of the crowd. It was because of me. I got my call mixed up, and that caused that delay. But we weren't sharp. Was that because of last week, or was it because of the crowd, the environment, and adapting to that situation? I'm not sure. So I don't really know the answer to that question, but I know our guys handled it as well as they possibly could have. I hope that I never have to experience it again. It was the first time in 32 years. So unless I coach 64, I'm banking on it not happening again.
Coach, you went forward on with the fake punt and scored. At that point, it's a one-score game. What changed after that?
Yeah, I think they just wore us out. Their blitz was getting to us all day, and we knew that. We were prepared for the blitz, but we didn't handle it and pick it up as well. We started moving the ball a little bit better after that because we just started calling. We call them our tempo plays. Our quarterback was calling virtually all the plays for the last part of the third quarter and the first half of the fourth quarter. And that allowed us to move the ball because we picked up the tempo and they weren't able to blitz as much. But we didn't finish a couple drives. That was big in the game. And then, they just wore us out on defense. I thought our defense played a great game, but eventually they just wore us out with the athletes they have. And, man, the quarterback, he's just a great player. He can do so many different things to you. And you think a play's done, and he makes things happen. And he's going to be big for the Griz this year. You guys know that better than I do. But that's going to be big for him.
Were they what you expected, what you'd seen on film, or did they throw different stuff at you?
No, as far as I can tell, I have the worst seat in the house on the sideline. You try to guess what's happening. But as far as I could tell, it was what we expected. They got a lot of defensive speed, and that's what we saw coming in, and we really saw that on the field. And so, how fast they execute their blitzes. If you just make the littlest mistake, they're behind you, and so that's something we got to get better at. That's something you guys do really well.
It seemed like they went to a lot of timing route stuff in their passing game down the stretch. How difficult is that for you guys to match up with their receivers one-on-one?
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence in our secondary, but the quarterback was throwing it on time. And then just some big receivers can run. That's a tough matchup. And when the quarterback has the opportunity to make those throws, it gets real tough. And they started to do that pretty consistently there at the end. And that was a difference in the fourth quarter, certainly.
One of your starters in Zach Clark went down early in the game. Do you have an update on him?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on health situations, but yeah, it was a big loss for us. He was a first-year starter, so really his first game starting, and had worked really hard for it. So that was disappointing to see, but hopefully we'll get him back here soon.
Defensively, when you were game planning for this, did you think that your line could win that matchup? And then what did you see from them? And what did maybe the quarterback do with his feet to kind of make up for some of that?
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence in our defensive line. That's in our conference as good a defensive line that there is, and those guys played well today. But again, a guy like that, you think you got him, and then he's gone. And the thing too is he can do so many different things, both with running the ball and throwing the ball. That's tough to handle.
They hit you with a couple big kickoff returns early, and then you kind of switched up the kickoff game. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, we just didn't want to get hurt by it. That was a disappointment. We need to get that corrected. They had two pretty big creases on that, And, you know, we knew coming in, we had to do our best at controlling the big plays, especially in special teams. Montana does such a great job on special teams, and so we wanted to limit those kind of things. And so honestly, we were just playing it conservative after that, try not to put our defense in any worse of position.
What about your own big play on special teams with the fake punt? Is that's a play you've been working on? How was it to see it come off like that?
Yeah, it's actually a play we've had in for a number of years. Haven't run it for the last couple, but it was the right situation. You know, we needed to create a big play to get back into the game at that moment. And I talked to our special teams coordinator. He said it was there, and it was the right time to do it. And you know, a good play call is the one that works. And so it really comes down to how well our guys executed it, and they did a great job executing it there.
Coach said, you know, they did a good job just kind of wearing you guys down throughout the second half. Is that something at half, you're only down one score, you can maybe sense might be happening and you need a couple plays to go your way, or is that something that just kind of came out of the blue?
Yeah, I would say it a little bit came out of the blue. We knew it was going to be a tough physical football game at that point, and we had to battle for, you know, another 30 minutes. But I think their depth and skill eventually just wore us down, you know, and that's the way we got to grow as a team.
Any other questions?